Hey, welcome back to the Morning Brew. And I'm Larry Aarons along with Aaron Muffaletto. Great pleasure to welcome our guest who was kind enough to stay in town to be with us on the show today. Bryan Kramer is here. He is CEO of a company called PureMatter. And welcome to the Morning Brew, Bryan.
Thank you for having me. I appreciate it.
Now, this came about because you and I met on social media.
That's right. Ironic?
Yeah, ironic enough. And you said you're going to be in town for a speech, and I said, well, come and be on our TV show.
Well, thank you for inviting me. It was great that we connected on Twitter, and I think then Facebook, and then here we are.
Hey, yeah. Can you tell us a little bit about your background? So you do social media.
Sure.
What do you do with that?
Yeah, that's a good question. So I started out about 1.5 to 2 years ago trying to figure out what social media was and how you can use social media. Especially as an owner of an ad agency, I was trying to figure out how that fit into the agency life as agencies are starting to change with media, as you guys well know. Yeah. So trying to figure out how to best use things like YouTube and Facebook and Twitter and how all this really makes a difference or not in your business or your personal life. And so I kind of started to wonder, how do you crack the social code? Yeah. Like, what does this all mean to our businesses? And in my kind of hobby journey, if you will, it just gave me so much more than I ever expected. I connected with people like you guys over social media, and it's just since compounded with the amount of relationships that I built online. So I can only imagine as a business or a brand, how you can really take this and use it for yourself.
I think social media has done so much for businesses. It's crazy how fast it's grown.
It is. It is. I think I read the other day that in the last 2 years, there's been more data posted online than in the last 30 years.
Wow.
So it's growing and it's compounding pretty quickly.
Yeah, we're kind of leaning on social media for this show right now, because that's our main marketing message, and we're just telling people who's on and using it in that way. It's just like you said, Bryan. It's never miss an opportunity to meet somebody and reach out to somebody.
Right.
And I found that on social media, if you ask for help, it'll be there for you.
Sure. Yeah, that's the great thing. There's this the law of reciprocity. Everybody online really wants to help each other. You know, you get your as I call them, your social trolls out there that like to take things in a much more negative experience, but they exist everywhere. They exist offline as well. So if you can learn to deal with that challenge, the reciprocity side is really where it's at, and building those relationships online is also kind of fun.
And on that note, I see a lot of people, a lot of businesses like, okay, social media is important, so I'm going to join all of these Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn, and all they do is spit out information.
Right.
And that's a huge problem.
That's right. Yeah, putting out a lot of information right now is really starting to get to be overbearing for everybody to take, and how you consume all that information.
The buy my stuff message.
Yeah.
That's right.
Does that really work?
Yeah, you know, it really takes a long time to build up quality content, and such as this show. So building that quality content over time, so that people really want to belong to something that you're talking about. And so really building your brand is what it's all about. And as you're developing that brand, and I developed my brand over the last 1.5 years now on social media, and I've developed over 80,000 followers doing exactly, you know, all these different methods to try and connect with people rather than pushing content at them. And that really made the big difference.
Putting the social in social media.
That's right.
Instead of pushing, because that's what advertising is, pushing information at folks instead of involving and connecting.
Interacting.
Yeah, engaging. Listening is also another one. Building a listening strategy first before you engage, I think, is the most important thing you can do. For a lot of people out there that are not comfortable yet getting on Facebook, even still, and getting on Twitter. So I think listening to what people are saying and using it as a way to gauge the direction for your company, that's more immediate now. We're in the time of now. So we can see what people are asking for right now, be able to go online and see what we need to do to maybe shift the direction of our business.
We have a graphic. I assume you used this with the AdFed speech yesterday.
I did.
And what was your main message to all those media folks yesterday?
Yeah, well, there was a lot of good questions yesterday. They were just a great audience and good interaction crowd. The one thing that I'm really trying to get across, and I think we were talking a lot about yesterday, is how to use social listening as your GPS, and how to let it help you guide your business today so that you can make those immediate shifts. So I call it the 1 degree shift. Making those minor shifts along the way. There's so much you can do on social media, so make some minor 1 degree shifts, and those will make a big difference.
Where can people, your website real fast there, Bryan, what is it?
Yeah, I've got, our company website is PureMatter.com, PureMatter.com.
Check it out. And Bryan, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely.
Appreciate it.
Bryan Kramer, our guest. We're going to check your local IQ in just a moment on The Morning Brew. Stay with us.